is not the awareness of the Brahman the same as the belief in that God? Are they not the same thing?
Awareness of
Brahman or consciousness. Aren't the two, the that and the thou, don't they basically share the same issue of faith?
It's not faith. It's rather noticing an ever-present reality. For example, right here, you can see all of this, the altar, and I'm sitting here, and the microphone is in front of you. That microphone in front of you, do you believe in the microphone or do you experience it? Do you see it? You experience it. You'll say the question itself is wrong, Swami. When I'm experiencing something, there's no question of belief or not belief. It's a direct experience. Brahman is a direct experience. One of the most beautiful definitions, these are not definitions exactly, they are pointers towards Brahman. If you understand the definition and then see where it points towards. One of the most beautiful such pointers is, what is Brahman? Anubhava Swarupa Atma. The real, the essence of experience. Which experience? Any experience. What is the essence of experience? Experiencer, but what is that experiencer then? Because experience is also a body, eyes and ears. And is that the essence of experience? Consciousness. It is awareness. If I have to tell you this, then I've already failed. What is the one common thing in all experiences? By experience, I mean the simplest things. Hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, talking, remembering, getting angry, loving, hating. All of that is experience. What's the one common thing always? The one who... Somebody said awareness, and you said the one who experiences. Are they the same thing, the awareness and the one who experiences? Correct. The one who experiences and the awareness are one and the same thing. Is that direct or is it something that you believe in? This world that you are seeing around you, the one which we are seeing around us, about this world itself, the altar and the lamps and the microphone and the people, we don't say, I believe these are there. I say, I see it. How much more direct is the one which sees? Except only one problem there is. Why this question of faith comes up? Because the seer is not an object. We are so used to objectifying that to believe in something, we must make it an object. To be convinced that it exists, we must see it. The word it means an object. We must see it, we must hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, or even think it, or even understand it. It's like saying, the photograph is the proof of the photographer. But the photographer is not in the photograph, unless it's a selfie. But the photographer in those old portraits, the painter or the photographer is not in the photograph. But the very photograph, all the people in the photograph itself, a group photo, it shows the unseen presence of the photographer, the very existence of the photograph. Photograph, experience, your experience. It shows that it is happening in the awareness. Even in the case of photograph and photographer, it's something that we are thinking about. It's a thought experiment. But consciousness is not a thought experiment. It's an ever-present reality, blazing forth like the sun. Anubhava Swarupoyam Atma. This self is the very nature, very essence of experience. Another beautiful, similar pointer is Anubhava Matram Param Brahma. The highest Brahman, the transcendental Brahman, is pure experience. Now, what do you mean by pure experience? The moment I say pure experience, immediately it gets into our mind, oh, that must be something that Swamis get. We are getting lots of impure experiences. No. What is pure experience? I'll define it very precisely for you right now. What is pure experience? Experience minus the object of experience. In every experience, there's an object. Drop that object. There are techniques in Kashmiri Shaivism which use, there's a book called Vijnana Bhairava, which uses this to great effect. In order to point you back to the pure self, it generates an object which you have to meditate upon and then drop the object. Like this, for example. We'll do this and then stop. Before we do that meditation, I will also answer the other one we said. The question of that and thou. Yes, it's not a question of faith. That means pure Brahman. Technically, this is called Mahavakya Vichara, analysis of the great saying Mahavakya. There are different steps. You have to first see what the terms mean. There's something called Lakshana, implied meaning, and then you come to a common meaning. So, what is that? The sentence is that thou art. Where is the sentence from? It's from the Chandogya Upanishad. That thou art. You are that. What is the meaning of that? In the Chandogya Upanishad, it means Brahman from which everything in the universe has originated. Sat. What is the meaning of thou? There, thou means the questioner, the student, Shwetaketu, who is asking the questions. That means the individual being, you, I. So that is you, and Brahman is the source of the universe. Literally God, Saguna Brahman. Now there's a process. It's a lot of philosophy of language is involved there. There's a multi-stage process in which finally you come to the understanding, I am pure consciousness, and Brahman is also pure consciousness. We are one and the same pure consciousness. That is the meaning of that thou art. Is it a question of faith? No. If you start with God, the whole question of God is a question of faith. In Sanskrit, it is called paroksha. Paroksha means beyond our senses. Beyond our senses. God is not something you normally see or hear or smell or taste or touch or you meet and talk with on a regular basis. No. So it is something that we believe in. We have read about it, we have heard about it, and so we believe in it. It is a matter of faith. Your own existence, is it a matter of faith? I exist. Other people are in this room. How do you know? Let me look at the picture. Yes, that person was there. You were in that room. Yes. How do you know? Will you say, let me look at the picture. Was I there? No. You remember being there. You remember being here. You were here directly. Your own existence is not a matter of faith. It's a direct experience. Now put these two together. God is an infinity without any problems, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, without any problems whatsoever, but only one problem. God has only one problem. What is that? God is based on faith. God may not exist. Do you see where I'm going with this? The idea of God, does God have a problem? Nothing except one. Or let's put it this way, God has no problem provided God exists. In every religion which believes in God, there is always the desperate attempt to prove the existence of God. In fact, later this month, there's going to be a discussion in East Side in Manhattan. A group of philosophers will meet, and the subject of discussion is, does God exist? So 2 proofs for the existence of God will be discussed, and 1 proof against the existence of God will be discussed. So it's always there. In Hinduism, in dualistic Hinduism, the Nyaya philosophers, they developed 9 or 10 proofs of the existence of God. Well known. There are texts which have more than 20 different proofs of the existence of God. None of which would be overwhelming. I mean, none of which will impress you much if you actually look into it. The Christians, Saint Aquinas, for example, Thomas Aquinas, 5 ways. They talks about 5 proofs of the existence of God. Why this struggle to prove the existence of God? Nobody tries to prove the existence. Saint Thomas Aquinas did not try say 5 ways to prove the existence of Saint Thomas Aquinas. No. Why? Because my existence is directly evident. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to struggle to believe it. God's existence is based on faith. God has an advantage. God has no problems. Disadvantage based on faith. I have an advantage. I am obviously present. It's not a question of faith. I'm directly evident. But I have a disadvantage. I have many problems. You see where I'm going with this? There are 2 terms in this equation, that thou art. The thou, the individual, you, me. We, beyond any reasonable doubt, we exist. But our existence is a limited existence surrounded by a lot of problems, suffering. And that is God, an infinite existence without any problems, but doubtful. Doubtful infinite existence, certain limited existence. Bring them together. What the Mahavakya does is, when you bring them together, you get a certain infinite existence. The doubt regarding the existence of God is removed, and the infinitude of the self is the finitude of the self is removed. I'll repeat again. The beauty of the Mahavakya, that thou art, what it does is, when you put these 2 together, it will show you the undoubted existence, not a faith. God is faith. Your existence is not faith. So this very existence, not dependent on faith, directly revealed existence, it will use God's infinitude to show you that this directly evident existence is infinite beyond any problems. That is the whole approach of Advaita Vedanta. That's why it's so stunning. A problem-free, infinite, indubitable, certain existence. If we get it. It's there for us. That's the beauty of it. That's why in Advaita Vedanta, there's no problem regarding God's existence. Somebody asked a Swami in Rishikesh, give me an irrefutable proof of the existence of God. Ishwar ke astitva mein akatya praman dijiye. Give me an irrefutable proof of the existence of God. And the answer was, your existence. Aapka astitva. It makes sense in Advaita Vedanta. It does not make sense in a dualistic religion. Because my existence is not the existence of God in a dualistic religion. But in non-dualism, the 2 are one and the same. They're pointing to the same reality. So we'll end on that very good note. The meditation I pointed out, there's no time, but let me point out what they do in Vijnana Bhairava is that they take up an object. It's like this. Lie down, or it will work even if you imagine it. You lie down on your couch or your bed. Imagine you're lying on the grass in Central Park and you're looking up and it's a bright, cloudless day. Bright blue sky. When you look up there, there's nothing else except the sky. All the trees and people, you can't see them because you're flat on the ground looking up there. Look up. You have to keep your eyes open. Brightly. See, bright, shining, vast, limitless sky. Be absorbed in that until it seems you're falling into that vast blueness. And then in one instant, close your eyes, dismiss the sky. Move it out of your... Just let it, drop it, dismiss it. What will happen is you'll be left behind with awareness only. That sky, it serves to blank your mind from all objects except that sky. It's an object, but it's a limitless physical object. Then when you finally in one instant drop that limitless object, only the subject is left behind. It should become evident. Even if it doesn't, try again and try again. That's one way they do it.